It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and I'm super excited to bring you today's beer. This beer is from Verdant Brewing Company, and it's their biggest, stupidest IPA, but it's the West Coast version. I reviewed what they would have called years ago the East Coast version, the hazy IPA. I reviewed that a week ago, and it was really good. But I've always been about Westies. My favourite beer style is Westie, and it's back. It's back in a big way. It really is. Biggest, stupidest Westie double IPA, 8% ABV. I've had a lot of Verdant hazy IPA, kind of the East Coast. If I got time, I'll explain East and West Coast later on in the review, but I just want to get into this beer very quickly. I reviewed a lot of the kind of hazy IPA from Verdant. It's all been superb, really good. I reviewed the lager, which was stunning. I've never had a Westie. So without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass, see what we get. So it's some kind of monster square pants thingy with his eye being pulled out by the phone whilst the thing is holding the phone. There we go. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. Oh, look. It's looking like that, you know, that lovely golden West Coast. Oh, man. There's a bit of haze there. There's a bit of yeast in there. Look at that. Oh, the sediment in it is just fantastic. Really fantastic. It's just suspended in the glass. It's got that lovely golden, like it almost as if the beer has just come from San Diego in America. Again, I'm going to have to talk about this later on, because for some people they're like, San Diego, West Coast, East Coast, what's that guy on about? I will explain all later on. Aroma. Yes. Yes. It torments you. It slightly torments you. There's a way of brewing these beers that when you open it, whether it's bottle or can or keg or cask, if these beers are fresh, which this is, it's less than 2 weeks old, I think. It's kind of like orange peel and grapefruit and lemon peel, maybe a touch of lime in the aroma, but you know when you get this beer to your lips, the bitterness on the beer is gonna blow you away. At least I hope. Cheers, everybody. %8 ABV. Waiting. There's the first hit of bitterness. Oh, yes, I love it. And there's that second wave of bitterness that just rolls and it just catches you all on the throat. And Stone the Crows. I love this style of beer so much. This style of beer is what got me into craft beer. That big, punchy, knock your head off, bitter, punching. I just love it. I love the rawness of it. I love that raw bitterness. That's wonderful from Verdant. Absolutely wonderful. Where do I begin? Oh, that bitterness. Oh. It's like biting grapefruit, but not just the grapefruit, the peel. It's not like you're the Hulk and you've just ripped apart an orange quite easily because you're the Hulk. And you've eaten that flesh and you've bitten into that peel and you're getting juiciness. You're getting the juiciness of the flesh of the orange, and you're getting the raw kind of like acidic sort of like pithiness, the bitterness of the peel of the orange, and the grapefruit and the lemon. It's like biting lemon peel and chucking a lemon in your face. This beer, sadly, and then of course you get that bitterness on the back end, but there's a little bit of malt there as well. A little bit of grainy malt. So what happened? What is West Coast? What's East Coast? What's hazy? Why did I mention San Diego? Right. When I got into the craft beer scene in 2010, these beers were dominating the scene. I was busy reviewing, when I first opened the channel, old speckled bottles of old speckled hen from the supermarket, anything bottled ale from the supermarket, hobgoblins, Green King beers, Abbott ales. You know, I was going along quite steady, enjoying my little channel with his Abbott ales and the Green Kings and that sort of thing. You know, not understanding really what was going on in the craft beer world, because I didn't understand it back then. I didn't know what was going on. A company who are long gone now, called My Brewery Tap. My Brewery Tap got hold of me and asked if they could send me a box of beers. I opened these beers. I had no clue what I was looking at. Pulling out bottles of Thornbridge DIPA. Okay, put it on the counter, never heard of it. Brewdog Punk IPA. Yeah. Dogfish Head 60 minutes, Dogfish Head 90 minutes. Some of the best, like and I think this company did that just to say, hey, put the Abbott ale down, put your Green King down, sort of thing, and have a look at this sort of thing. All the videos are still on YouTube. If you want to have a look at my old videos of Dogfish Head 60 minutes, you're quite welcome. Brewdog's Punk IPA from 2010. Have a look. Thornbridge DIPA in a 330 milliliter bottle, probably hand bottled at the brewery back then at Thornbridge. Anyway, these beer styles were West Coast IPA. They were kind of like doing this to me when, like, for the first time ever, after drinking Abbott ale or Brains Bitter for forever, I was suddenly thrown into this world of IPAs and double IPAs, and like, wow, what's this? And you can see it in the videos and my kind of like expressions and whatnot. So West Coast IPAs are generally bitter beers. They all kind of centered around the San Diego sort of area of America. They all came from that area. The likes of Sierra Nevada Torpedo, Dogfish Head 90 minute IPA, Flying Dog Doggy Style back in the day, Raging Bitch by Flying Dog, all of these beers. And I was loving life. 3-4 years of that was great. Loving it. Bitter, like this. Bitter, blow your face off beers. I was going to Poland by 2013, drinking beers called Crazy Mike, which were 100 IBU, knock your face off IPAs. Then McKellar was an IPA war. Sorry, an IBU war. It was an IBU war. So McKellar brought out 1,000 IBU IPA, which was like so bitter your palate couldn't even taste it. And then we fell into this world of like soft, hazy IPA with next to no bitterness, and a lot of the hops were thrown into the fermenter, and it was all, and we had years of it, years and years and years of it. And I went along with it for a while, I liked it for a while, but then I got really bored. Really, really, really bored of it. And then I was at Brew York last year, 2024. I was at Brew York and I spoke to an American brewer in the Hanley Tap in Brew York, and he was telling me that, the West Coast is having a resurgence. These bitter beers are having a resurgence, because the East Coast beer, I forgot to mention this, the East Coast, what I mentioned earlier, the hazy IPA, came from like the East Coast, the Alchemist, Heady Topper, those sorts of beers. That's what kind of set the ball rolling with hazy IPA. And that was the East Coast of America rather than the West Coast of America, where the hoppy beers come from, the bitter beers come from. But it was joy to my ears, because I was drinking a West Coast IPA at Brew York. And he was like, thank goodness there's a resurgence of these hoppy, bitter West Coast IPAs. And you get your hopes up. You think, oh yeah, this is going to happen. This could happen, and it has. It has. I probably drank about 10 to 20 really, really, really good West Coast IPAs, and this is one of them. This is one of them. This is bitter. This is supercharged. This has all the flavors of a hazy IPA. Your grapefruit, your passion fruit. No, not passion fruit. Your grapefruit, your orange peel, your lemon, your lime. But it's got that. It's punchy. It's bitter. It's bold. The Westies are back. Thank goodness the Westies are back. I like that beer from Verdant enough to give it a Stone the Crows 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 from Reload Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.